It is narrated from Salman radiallahu anhu that Allah's Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, "There are three types of people whom Allah will not speak to, and neither will He bless them, and for them is a severe torment. They are a graying adulterer, an arrogant beggar, the one who has made Allah and His merchandise, that is, he does not purchase except by swearing, nor does he sell except by swearing."
Okay, in this hadith the Prophet ﷺ said, three people Allah will not speak to them, nor will He purify them, and they will have a severe punishment. So this shows you then that when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks to the believers, this is a speech of mercy. That the believers, the very fact that Allah speaks to them, it is a sign of His mercy. Okay, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will also speak to the disbelievers, but He will speak to them as speech of punishment. Okay, He will speak to them as speech of punishment, taunting them and ridiculing them and causing them to be punished in the fire of hell because of His speech. So the disbelievers will also be able to hear the speech of Allah, but that speech is not going to be a speech of blessings. Okay, it will be a speech of punishment. Whereas the believers, they are going to hear the speech of Allah that will in and of itself be a reward. So the fact that Allah will not speak to them, He will punish them by not speaking to them. Okay, and then He is not going to purify them. وَلَا يُزَكِّيهِمْ. He will not purify them of their sins, and they will have a severe punishment. So these are three people that have extremely gone misguided or astray, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to show them punishment. Who are these three people? The first one, the Prophet said, "Ushaymitun zanin," which means an old fornicator. Okay, a person who is still after women even though he's old. You know, the point is, it's not his place. I mean, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala might give more of an excuse to a young man, right? When an old man is doing it, how much greater the foolishness and the evil of what he's doing. Okay, so an old man who is still fornicating. Okay, and obviously the same applies to a woman. And the second thing is an arrogant beggar. Now, is it the right of the beggar to be arrogant? Okay, so the point is, when a person is so arrogant that even when he has reached the state of being a beggar, he's still arrogant. So the point is, his arrogance is so great that even if he's a beggar, he's still going to be arrogant. So this type of arrogance, what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say about arrogance? Even an atom's weight of arrogance, a person who has even an atom's weight or small's weight of arrogance is not going to enter paradise. Okay? Even a small weight of arrogance, a person who has this type of arrogance will not enter paradise. And when the Sahaba asked the Prophet ﷺ, "Ya Rasulullah, we all like to have good clothes. You know, we all like to have good shoes." So the Prophet said, this is an arrogance. Arrogance is to look down upon people and to reject the truth. To reject the truth knowing it's the truth. And you might think, how can anyone do that? Believe me, brothers, people can. I know. People can. I have plenty of people, they know the truth, and yet out of some reason they will not accept it. Okay? For example, he might have to give up his status. He might have to give up the position he has. Okay? He might have to give up something that is more beloved to him, so he knows the truth, and yet he's going to reject it. So arrogance means to look down upon your fellow Muslims, think I'm better than everyone else, and to presume or to reject the truth. Arrogance, by the way, does not mean believing you are right. This is not arrogant. Muslims, do we believe we're right and the Christians are wrong? Yes. Is this arrogance? No. If you doubt this, then you doubt your Islam. Okay? Likewise, the Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, do we have any doubts about our Aqidah? Are we in doubt? Are the Shi'as, misguided, and the Qadianis, and the Badawis, and the Sufis, and the Ash'aris? No. This is not arrogance. Realize this. Because I remember some brothers, they had this type of concept, is that, this is arrogance. You guys say you're right and everyone else is wrong. No, I'm not saying I'm right. This is Allah and His Messenger saying they are right. And I believe it. I am no one to say I'm right. I am only one who submits to Allah and His Messenger. And because I have submitted, I know whatever I have submitted to is correct. Therefore I can say of a surety and of a firmness that all of these groups that we have mentioned are deviated groups. This is not arrogance, by the way. The Prophet did not say this is arrogance. The Prophet said to reject the truth when you know it. That is arrogance, the opposite. Not to know the truth and then think it's not right. No. This is a part of being Iman. So the second person that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not speak to is a person who even if he's a beggar, he's going to be arrogant. So imagine how arrogant he's going to be if he wasn't a beggar. Okay? And the third person is that he who has made Allah his merchandise. What does it mean he has made Allah his merchandise? It means he always swears by Allah. He's not, Allah, the Prophet doesn't explain. He will not buy anything until he is sworn to, and he is not going to swear unless he himself swears. So when he goes to someone, he's going to make sure that person swears to him that this is his lowest price is going to come, and this is, he got it himself for a low price. In other words, he's going to make sure that everything is in proper order. Likewise, when he sells, he'll make sure he'll also swear by Allah's name. Oh, this is the best thing you're ever going to buy in the market. You won't find anything better than this. You have my personal guarantee. I swear by Allah, you won't get a lower price. All of this using Allah's name in vain. Okay? So the Prophet ﷺ said that this type of person, Allah will not speak to him on the Day of Judgment. The one who, he just doesn't think of Allah except as a merchandise. Okay? So the point is, think of Allah in better terms. Don't just think of Him when you have to sell your merchandise and swear by Allah. And not just selling merchandise. Like I said, too many Muslims, they have a problem with swearing by Allah all the time. I swear by Allah I saw this. I swear by Allah I didn't do this. Don't use it in vain. Of course it's allowed to. And you have to in some occasions. On some occasions in the court of law you have to swear by Allah. But don't make it a repetition that every small thing that happens, you're going to mention Allah's name for it. Okay? The point is, use it in its proper place. When it needs to be done, when someone needs to be reassured, yes, use Allah's name. Okay? But don't just make it your merchandise. Every time you need to do something, you just put an oath out by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Naam. Last hadith.